Just a little bit of a question and answer. Somebody asked about our filter. Um, if it removes taste or smell or anything, it's really not for that. It's mostly for getting parasites out so we don't end up with norovirus. There's a segment of people out here on the trail that don't filter at all, and I mean, it's a chance it's up to you if you want to take or not. Just having a raging case of the diarrhea is no fun out here, so it's not that hard to filter. That one night that I walked out on that dam, it doesn't show it in the picture, but that water was probably the worst water we had. It was really pretty skunky. It was pretty stagnant. And the only place there was moving water is where it was flowing over that dam, so that's why I walked out there to try and get some little bit of better water. But for the most part, water coming out of the streams and these springs is really good water. We just using extra safety precautions so we don't get a stomach virus from the water. So.
Different ones of you have asked about the videoing and editing. Al does most of the videoing. Two main reasons. One is if there's background noise going on, my voice doesn't pick up as well on the with the microphone as his does, and so it's a lot easier to edit with a voice that picks up. Also, I tend to be one of these people that sometimes struggle to walk and chew gum at the same time, so unless the ground's fairly level, I don't trust myself trying to film and navigate and walk on the trail without tripping. Al, so he does most of the videoing, and then at night when he's doing some of the extra chores, I will lay in my bed and do the editing. So it works great, I think, being like a team effort.
Yeah, she uses KindMaster. That's the app we use to do our editing and then post to YouTube with.
And so I just use the music that KindMaster has available. Pick and choose the music that I like the most.
And she just uploads when we have Wi-Fi or service, and then YouTube allows you to what's the word I'm looking for? Put one video, schedule them so you can put one video out a day. That's why they come out daily, because we put them on in one lump of probably 4 or 5 videos at a time. You do.
Right. So whenever we get to a hostel or a place that has good Wi-Fi that I can upload. Yeah. So far I haven't had trouble uploading. Some places are slower than others, but it's not been too bad.
Yeah, YouTube makes it handy to do that. So.
They do. One of the other questions was about sleeping when we're in the shelters. If we sleep with our heads against the wall or away from the wall, and if there's a reason or personal preference. I think it's probably personal preference. When we sleep with our head away from the wall, I find it easier to get out of my bag if I need to get up into the bathroom at night. I'm not having to crawl down the whole length of my sleeping mat and bag. They also say mice run along the perimeter of the walls. Yeah, I don't know. They seem to be kind of here, there, and everywhere, so I'm not sure that makes a big difference.
One of the issues we had with some of these shelters is the platform is so short. Bulldog and myself we're 6 foot, Sanders probably 5'10", and a lot of these shelter platforms in North Carolina are maybe 5 foot, so you got to sleep with your head up. And we just have our feet hanging off the end of the platform, so that kind of plays a role in it too, which way you sleep. Beacon, we've hiked with him. He just left here a little bit ago, but he slept with his head out that one night and had his arm hanging down toward the ground. And he said a mouse ran up his arm up on top of the platform when he was laying head that way. So, yeah, that's just, yeah. And at night, some people are sleeping the one way, some are sleeping the other way. Really no rhyme or reason to it. Well, we just got back from town, did a resupply, and grabbed something to eat. Probably about 1 o'clock now or so. Finishing up a few more questions that people had. One thing we talked about was the fact that Tennessee does not have privies, and the privies, I don't know, it's kind of a crapshoot when you go into these things that are there. Some are not bad. Other ones are not worth going into, that's for sure. Going in the woods was one of those things we kind of dreaded before we came out on the trail, but I don't know, you kind of warm up to it pretty quickly, surprisingly enough. A few tricks you learn along the way. Find a tree that's big enough to get your hand around. Make sure it's strong enough to support your weight because you don't want to end up on the ground halfway through. But yeah, grab a hold of one hand and lean back. It's really quite comfortable.
Sometimes it's easier to dig the hole after you've gone to bury everything.
Yeah, we talked about might get to liking this and keep up the practice once we get home. I don't know. We'll see what the neighbors think. See if they object or not. You hate to be that couple in the community that everybody talks about, so we'll have to play it by ear.
The last question that a couple of people asked was if I would feel safe out here as a woman without Al being with me. I would say yes. I mean, it's hard to answer that because I don't know. Al is with me. I think you definitely just have to be aware of your surroundings. The people that we've chosen to hike with, I know would defend me or would do anything that they needed to do to make sure that I was safe. I would say if you're going to be alone out here as a woman, I would probably not leave February 1st, so you're not so alone on the trail.
Yeah, there has been an incident this year with a guy named Ice is his trail name. He kind of freaked some people out early on. He supposedly was on drugs the one night, I don't know, exposed himself around camp. As soon as he got to a road crossing, the cops picked him up right away, stuck him in jail. I guess he did bond out and is back on the trail supposedly. But one thing about the trail, the news travels fast. So everybody on the trail, we're way ahead of this guy by hundreds of miles. We know about him. So everybody's looking out for him and watching him close, and everybody's right willing to call the cops again. So supposedly he has a court date to go back for his trial. So those things do happen, but there's enough people around, and people, the cops are willing to take action pretty quick with stuff like that. So, and
I don't think it's any different than just out in society in general. You just have to be super aware, or just not super aware, but be aware of your surroundings. And
yeah, those types of people are everywhere. So
trust your gut instinct, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, but most overwhelming majority of people are great people out here, so it's not really an issue.
Thank you so much for commenting. We are mainly doing this YouTube channel for family and friends. We are not planning on monetizing ever. And we're pleasantly surprised at how many people that we don't know, that we've never met, are following us, and we're glad that you're enjoying our videos, and we thank you for the encouraging comments. And we'll continue videoing and see you down the trail.
Yeah, talk to you later.